Welcome, everybody. My name is Robin Heron, and I am your carnivorous grandma, and I am super excited to be here with you tonight. I kind of wanted to come in and catch up. I don't have a guest with me tonight, but that's okay. I'm actually going live on TikTok at the same time. So, hey, TikTok, I'm so glad that you guys are here. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Carnivorous Grandma Speaks. It's been a couple of weeks since I was in here, but that intro that you guys on YouTube just saw, that will be the last time that you guys will see that because we had the Impact meetup last weekend and it was absolutely fantabulous. I'm not going to talk that much about Impact tonight, except to say that I really appreciated our good doctors for coming out, which were Dr. Kiltz and also Dr. Tony Hampton that came and just brought such a message of healing, health, and vitality, and just a great, great message. And then also for all of our guests, all my friends that were there. So I had Denitra Davis there. Also, G and Frederick Brown were there. We had Terry Carver from My Terrific Life. Adam, which is Carnivore Today from Healing Humanity. And we also showed the Healing Humanity trailer, and we're able to do a little bit of fundraising on behalf of Healing Humanity. So I was very, very thankful for that. I mean, it was a beautiful day. The weather cooperated. We were able to incorporate movement and all kinds of things. So if you want to know all about Impact, you can join me on Monday night for Hey Sister Girl, and G and I are going to run down all of the particulars for you, and we're going to tell you all about it. It was absolutely amazing. So we are looking forward to doing it again next year. 2026 Impact 2026 is coming, and I will share with you that the target date for that is going to be August 29th, 2026. Mark your calendar. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be super awesome. So, pretty much what I wanted to come in and talk to you guys about tonight, there's two topics that I want to cover. First of all was right after last Saturday's Impact, I got sick, you guys. Oh my gosh. It felt like shards of glass were in my throat. I was like clearing my throat. I did not feel good. And my aura ring, which I have this aura ring, which is pretty awesome. And if you guys have not got one, this thing tells you a lot of stuff. So it was like, you're not feeling well. I didn't say that exactly, but it was telling me that that my resilience was low, that I had a fever. It told me that basically it reduced my number of steps per day because it was saying that I just was not, it was telling me that I wasn't feeling well. It would tell me in the nighttime that I was actually, dealing with, I was dealing with my heart rate was doing different kinds of stuff and just weird and interesting information. And so I was very sick after the weekend. And I think it was because I definitely was pushing myself a lot before, and getting ready, trying to make everything perfect, trying to do all the things to make an event be successful. And so I think I just pushed myself a little bit hard and probably wore down my immunity, which was not ideal. So before I go too much further, just let me know where you are watching from down in the chat. I see people joining, so I'm so glad to see you guys here tonight. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments, and I will do my best to try to. I'm following along on both TikTok and YouTube and Facebook tonight. So, just was not feeling really well. What I did, I wanted to talk through what I did to get through sickness because being sick on carnivore, it can be a little bit different, right? And so Hey, Kooky Carnivore, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Hello from Maryland, and I'm glad that you're here. I see that Chloe joined. Welcome. Glad that you are here. Once Upon a Time joined. Hey, so glad that you are here. I'll just introduce myself again for those of you who may not know me. My name is Robin Heron, and I am your carnivorous grandma. And I'll just say this because you may or may not be aware that I have been doing a carnivore, primarily meat-based way of eating for over 2 years. So 2.5 years. I started on February 22nd, 2023. And so I'm heading toward my 3-year carniversary in February. And so I've been doing this quite some time, and I've done a lot of experimentation. But when I got sick over the weekend, I was like, let's see what I can do. I got sick on Sunday. I started to feel sick on Sunday. And I ate on Sunday. And I did reach out to my friend Nurse Laura from Healthy Carnivore. And she said you should fast. Do a 24-hour fast. So I did undertake right after I heard her say that, I just started fasting. And I also did take her elderberry tincture, which is pretty good. I mean, normally, when I would get sick, I would take NyQuil because I was like, NyQuil will take care of it. NyQuil is definitely going to take care of it. Like, if there's anything that's going to take care of this sickness, it's going to be NyQuil. So NyQuil was my jam back in the day. But NyQuil does have a lot of chemicals in it. It certainly has dyes and colors and, all these different things in it that I don't really want to incorporate into my way of life. So I had Laura's elderberry tincture. She said, take a dropper full of that and put it under your tongue, which I did. And that was the only medication that I took. So I do see people that are asking to join me on TikTok. I'm not inviting anybody in tonight because I'm doing solo. I'm going solo. I hope that's all right with everybody. So I took the elderberry tincture. And then I fasted, and I end up fasting for about 2 full days, about 48 hours. And it really, really did help to just not have my body struggling to digest food and struggling to actually deal with this sickness that I had. And I really haven't been sick very much since I have been on carnivore. I just haven't been sick very often. And so, it's kind of one of those things where I got sick and I'm like, my daughter's a PA, my oldest daughter, and I'm contacting my daughter to say, what's wrong with me? Something is happening. And she's like, Mom, you have a cold. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. So yeah. So anyway, I did get sick, and it was not ideal. I was not very not feeling very well. And of course, dealing with those fevers and sore throat. But I'm feeling so much better now. And I think fasting really has helped. Following that fast, I went into a series of OMADs, or 1 meal a day. And I'll tell you guys about my protocol for September because, I definitely try to set intentions. We have a Marco Polo group that we go into, and we set intentions for the month, set intentions for the week, intentions for the day, and try to, be accountable to someone for all of the amazing things that we're going to do during that day, week, month. And so for the month of September, I decided that I'm going to do like, beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. I have not really had any eggs, but it's going to be egg yolks only, because I think I'm having a little bit of sensitivity to egg whites. And so I want to figure that out. Definitely let me know where you're watching from in the chat, and I'll shout you out. So I see Jesse's here. Yellow Cedar joined. Welcome, welcome. Linda joined. Pilar joined. Welcome. So glad that you guys are here. And and so just getting sick and being a carnivore can be different, but I would highly recommend a fast. Most definitely. Pretty face Tammy. Hey you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. And so basically, definitely recommend fasting when you get sick. And fast as long as you can. So like I said, I did 2 days and then I went into a series of OMADs. What have I been eating? I've been eating pretty much beef. Not that much pork. Today I did have a pork brat, which was absolutely delicious. It was so good. And I had some mustard. So Lane to Where is here from Colorado. Welcome. E Bacon is watching from Dallas. Welcome, welcome. So glad that you are here. I saw that Denitra and Dr. Tony were on, and what a great show. So thank you for hopping over here after her show got over. I see Chris Ventura in the chat. Welcome. Briley R2 joined as well. So glad that you guys are all here. One thing that happened last weekend at Impact was that I launched my coaching services. And so I'm very excited about that. I have been coaching a number of people from my community for about, oh my gosh, well, a little over 6 months now. So definitely, I have some family members that have come in and worked with me. And what I'm coaching for is, I'll read it to you guys so you can hear what I'm doing in my coaching services. So going to help people break free from the cycle of food addiction. Yo-yo dieting. Who's doing that? Like, who's been dealing and struggling with yo-yo dieting? I'll tell you, for me, I have yo-yo dieted all of my life since the age of 11 when I started dieting. And then I started going up and down and up and down and struggling with weight all of my life. And it really, really was. I was a perpetual dieter and I struggled with that. So I see Glenn Creamer joined in. Accountability Bestie. Hey, girlfriend. It's good to see you. I just started going live on TikTok recently. So good to see you. Thank you for popping in. The Marshmallow joined. So Glenn Creamer joined. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So we're talking about my coaching services. So it is breaking free from this cycle. What have we been doing? Like, we have literally been struggling our way trying to do these diets. How many diets have you done? I have done them all. I'm going to tell you, the only reason that I didn't do a diet was because I didn't know about it or I didn't want to pay for it. So I did the medical weight loss. I did the cabbage soup diet. I did Atkins, which I thought was amazing at the 20 carbs or less. As soon as I started adding those carbs back in, I lost my way. I did keto, 10 years of keto. For me, I call it 5 years of keto because I did really good and I was like really doing keto the way it's supposed to be done. But then they came out with all these Quest bars and protein chips. And, I was making all the cakes and the cookies and pies, doing everything like I was trying to do a standard American diet. And I ended up doing Cheeto for 5 years. So I ketoed for 5 and then Cheetoed for the 5. And I kept gaining weight and losing weight. And one thing I want to say about gaining and losing weight is, people always say this, I tried keto, but it doesn't work because as soon as I stopped doing it, I gained weight. Well, hello, somebody. Come on now. If you stop doing it and you gain your weight back, well, doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that just make sense? So keto does work. Keto's amazing. For me, it was not far enough. And so I want to help you not to have to keep doing this over and over and over again. Perpetual dieting, the yo-yo diet roller coaster. You need support. I'm here to do that. So we're doing this through a sugar-free lifestyle. What does that mean? Sugar-free, right? So you should know, if you don't already know, that the only thing that doesn't have sugar is meat. So I would be starting you out on a complete elimination diet and getting all of the sugar out Okay. So my protocol is going to be like this. When you decide that you want to coach with me, you're going to have a 1 hour discovery session. In that discovery session, we are going to do a deep dive into your health story, your lifestyle. What are your goals? What is it that you are trying to do as part of this lifestyle change that you are trying to do, right? We'll take a look at your health history. We're going to talk about labs. We're going to talk about your habits, your obstacles. What are the things that you are doing that are causing you to be in the struggle? And believe me, I know that the struggle is real. We're going to really clarify and drill into those goals, creating a clear vision for what you want to do for your 90-day on ramp. The reason I chose 90 days, and I know a lot of people do like a 7-day challenge, some people do a 30-day challenge. I chose 90 days because when I started carnivore, if I had not chosen 90 days as my stick in the ground, like this is the line in the sand, this is what I'm going to do, I probably would not be doing carnivore today. Even if I would have chose 30 days, 30 days would not have been enough for me to prove to myself that this works, and also to see some of the benefits that I have seen as I've gone along, right? So I'm not inviting anybody to co-host with me tonight. Sorry, you guys. Maybe we can battle another day. That would be fine. We can definitely do it some other time. But 90 days. At 90 days, I feel like you're going to experience the carnivore zen. You're going to experience a lot of the benefits that you will achieve. And we want to remember that this way of eating, this lifestyle choice, it is not a weight loss protocol. It is a health protocol. So talking about those health goals, talking about what's going on with your body, like do you have high blood pressure? Do you have some other kind of diagnoses that we need to talk through and think about? Are you on medication? Like because we want to make sure that you're not on a lot of medication. If you are type 2 diabetic, let's say, and you're on medication, then we don't want to just have you jump into a sugar-free lifestyle and continue taking the same amount of medicine. So those are the types of things that we need to have a conversation about and put into the plan that we're building for you for your 90 days. So that discovery session is going to give you some clarity. It will give you direction. It's going to give you the confidence to go forward and do the 90-day on-ramp, right? And that is what my coaching program is called. It's CG coaching, so CarnivorousGrama, which is me coaching. And so we're going to put together that map, and then we're going to start the journey. And that 90-day on-ramp is going to be like, we'll talk through the foundation. So what I do in my coaching practice is I have a weekly coaching call, which is a group call. And then I do provide a number of individualized sessions during the course of your 90 days. And then also there are some other things that I'm offering. So if you're interested in taking a look at that, I'm asking you to go to my website, CarnivorousGrama.com. It's CarnivorousGrama.com, because that's what my grandkids call me. They call me grandma, not grandma or grandmother. No, they call me grandma. And that's what I call my grandma. And so basically that's where I'm at with it. So it's CarnivorousGrama.com, and you can check out my coaching services and see all about what it is that we're going to be doing in CG coaching. And I would love to support you and help you walk through this journey, because what I know is that doing a carnivore or a sugar-free even lifestyle can be challenging. It can be challenging, and community is so critical. So critical. Like that community factor is such a big deal that I started Marco Polo groups, which people have joined that, and you can join Marco Polo groups on its own on my YouTube channel. Um, but I started that because what happened to me when I started 2.5 years ago was that there was nobody in my community that was doing it. And people was looking at me like I had two heads. How many carnivores do we have? If you're a carnivore in the chat, just throw me a thumbs up. Let me know if you're a carnivore, because you're often the only person in your life that is a carnivore. I see some more people joining. I see Humble. Hey, Humble, welcome. April joined. So glad that you are here. I see Aries. Hey, Aries 66. So glad that you are here. So glad that you guys have all joined up. I appreciate you. So, anyway, it can be difficult. I always say living this lifestyle is very, very simple. It's probably the simplest thing that you have ever done as far as a way of eating. Very simple. But is it easy? Oh, heck no, it's not. It's not easy all the time, because we deal with, as we're transitioning, if you are on a standard American diet, then you are dealing with cravings and high and low insulin, glucose spikes, and all stuff all day long. You're eating way too many times a day, and your insulin is just, your body is fighting for its life, right? And so when you're transitioning, it can be challenging. You're going to have questions. I always say we can't really talk about carnivore without talking about poop, because poop is such a big deal for people. I mean, people want to be able to go, and they don't want to be, going too much. So those are questions that you might have as you are starting a carnivore journey. And I definitely see a lot of people out here starting and getting into this lifestyle and finding out that it's absolutely incredible, but dealing with the cravings. And so there are reasons why you have cravings, right? Um, we know sugar is one of the most addictive substances on the planet, the most addictive substances on the planet. Um, and it's legal. Like, you can get that hit of sugar all the time. You know what I mean? And your body is literally fighting for its life trying to deal with all that sugar. So I know that you guys probably have heard of Dr. Anthony Chaffee. He talks about the idea that plants are trying to kill you. Plants definitely are highly toxic. They have some toxic properties, anti-nutrients and things like that are just not beneficial to the human body. And so my thought is we should eliminate them as much as possible. And so hopefully you'll try that, because I'll tell you my story about the plants, you guys. I thought that plants were healthy for me. Everybody was saying, eat a salad, a nice salad. Hi, Eva. So glad you're here. Um, Eat a nice salad. And I would always say there's no such thing as a nice salad. All salads are horrible. I hate them. But I would eat it anyway because I thought it was healthy for me. I would eat broccoli and cauliflower. In fact, when I was on keto, I would say that I was on a low fat, high plant based ketogenic diet. And so simple, keto simple. Hey, welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here. Also, simple selt. Welcome. So glad that you're here. And so I was eating all this plant matter, not realizing that my eczema was being extremely exacerbated by plants. And so I had eczema. I had two black eyes, and I had a dark circle around my mouth. The only makeup I have on right now is lipstick. So you can see that I no longer have that. When I eliminated most of the plants, this went away. And I had had it my whole life. All my diets that I did, hi, Gabby, all my diets that I did, I lost weight. I got super skinny, but I always had those two black eyes, and I had a dark circle around my mouth. and I had these blisters all inside my hands. My hands were completely blistered. In fact, my hands were they blistered up so bad. This hydrotic eczema, they blistered so bad that when I went to be fingerprinted, they could not lift fingerprints off my fingers because my fingertips had basically they sloughed off because I went through this blistering and flaking and drying and all this stuff. My hands, it was so awful. I mean, people talk about eczema, and eczema it can be debilitating. I would walk around my hands like this all the time because I wanted to remind myself, don't touch anything. Don't touch anything, because my hands were just a raw mess inside. And so I didn't realize that this was caused by plants. The plant foods that I was eating was causing this problem. And so when I went on carnivore, this started to clear up. The hands started to clear up. I just looked back at my 90-day video, and I see that I still had a little bit of this at 90 days, but in a year it was gone. Like, people would look at me like even my parents were like, "Oh my gosh, you look different." Yeah, I look different. I look different. Hey, Natalie. So glad that you're here. Sash Powell, welcome. So glad that you're here. Yeah, so it was really, really debilitating. I mean, and I found this miracle cure for eczema, and it was called concealer. And so I would pile on the makeup on my face. In fact, I became a makeup representative because I wanted to get free makeup for the rest of my life. I did not want to have to pay for makeup for the rest of my life. So concealer was fire. I mean, it was the bomb. I loved it because it covered up all that darkness around my mouth, and if you guys look back at some of my old videos on YouTube, you'll see that I was a makeup representative and I was trying to build a team and I was doing all the things. And so, I was doing all that because my skin looked like, to me, it looked awful. And it was just really devastating to me. And so the plants were the problem. All that time I thought, I hate lettuce. I don't like it. I think lettuce is nasty. One day since I've been on carnivore, I went and got burger patties from a restaurant, and they put my burger patties on top of lettuce. A lot of places will do that, even though you don't ask for it. And so I said, well, I didn't ask for lettuce, but I'll just go ahead and eat the patties off the top of the lettuce. When I ate those patties, my hands blistered so bad. I'm like, oh, so the reason that I don't like lettuce is because lettuce don't like me. Lettuce does not like me. And so since then, I have discovered that there are so many plants that do not like me. Cauliflower, broccoli that I've tried, onions, bell pepper, black pepper. Black pepper gives me a stuffy nose. Does anybody else have that? Like, if I include black pepper in my diet, it makes my nose clog up. Who would have thunk that? I did not think that was going to be the thing, that it was going to be the actual plants. And so, the plants were my problem. Now, not everybody has to be a carnivore. That's true. But I think everybody should try it. And they should do an experiment with their own body to see, what are these plants actually doing to me? And figure out that plants are a problem. I'll tell you another little story that happened to me. I went on a cruise, and I drink a lot of sparkling water. So on the cruise, I was drinking sparkling water. And I said, you know what? I'm going to be fancy. I'm just going to be fancy for a second. And I'm going to have some mint in my water. I'm just going to put some fresh mint in the water, make it taste so refreshing and delicious. And yes, I'm going to enjoy this fresh mint in my water. And what happened to me was my anxiety ranked up so high that I could not function from adding just a little bit of mint. And I did it for about a couple of days. When I got off the ship, my husband and I went to the mall in Tampa. And we were on this mall, beautiful mall with like glass walls. You're upstairs and the wall is glass, right? And you can look over and see all the levels. I was stuck in place. I could not move. I could not walk. I could not do anything. I was literally stuck in place with my anxiety through the roof. So, anxiety is one of the main reasons that I'm on carnivore because I had debilitating anxiety so bad that I went to the doctor and told her to put me on medication because I wasn't going to be able to drive my car. I wasn't going to be able to function in life. And after 90 days on carnivore, I weaned myself off that medication because I no longer needed it. So the anxiety cranked down, and I still do have anxiety, but then again, I still do have a little bit of plants in my diet. So I'm working those out. So this month, I usually use some Redmond's Real Seasoned Salt on my food. For this month, I'm no longer using that. I'm just using regular Redmond's Real Salt. No garlic powder, onion powder, none of those other things that are in the seasoned salt. And then also eliminating for 3 months all sugar-free sweeteners. So I do sometimes I indulge more than I should in a sugar-free drink. Or I'll put stevia or Splenda. I know Splenda's bad. Y'all don't have to come for me. I already know Splenda's bad. Don't tell me no more. I already know it's bad. It's bad. Yes. But stevia, Splenda, or like liquid sucralose, and some of the others. And I like a sweet drink, sugar-free sweetened. So I have determined that I am having a lot of cravings because I'm incorporating those sweet tastes. And so I decided that I'm going to take it out for 3 months. And so within my coaching group, I have a number of folks that are joining me in actually taking this sugar-free taste free 90 days. So that started on September 1st. So we got Shopaholic in here. Madeline is here. Your fave MS counselor. Welcome. So glad that you are here. Again, I'm here on TikTok and Yasmin the Brat is here. Sweet Martha's Pharmacy. I'm so glad that you guys are here. So anyway, basically, I'm trying to eliminate the plants. What plants do I still have in right now? Coffee. Coffee is one that I have not eliminated. So I did take a year off of coffee when I first started. So I started in February 22nd, 2023. And in October, I eliminated coffee and sweeteners for a whole year. And I did not see like amazing benefits from eliminating coffee. But I will eliminate it again. I am working my way off of plants. And so basically for the time being, it's elimination of my seasoned salt. And there's not really any other plant matter that I still consume. It's mainly that seasoned salt and coffee are the two things. So coffee is going by the wayside, but just not today. So not in September. So I'll determine that and then I'll come back and let you guys know. So let me know if you guys have any questions. We are going to go ahead and wrap it up. I just wanted to let you guys know about my coaching practice. And if anybody is interested in that, I'm going to drop my website in the chat. And you can take a look at that. You'll click on coaching services. Let me see if I'm able to chat on here. I really don't know how. I don't know how to chat on TikTok. I'm just learning how to use TikTok and I just don't know. So, anyway, it's carnivorousgrama.com. Carnivorous, GRAMA.com. Take a look and let me know if you're interested. And then down at the bottom of my services page, there is a join us button. If you click that button, it will send me an email and I will follow up with you so that we can talk about we can talk about whether or not CG coaching is for you. All right, you guys. So I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad that I'm feeling better. Like, being sick sucks, but if you get sick, go ahead and try a fast. I think that works really, really well. It worked so well for me. And then, of course, intermittent fasting. One of the things that I'm incorporating and I added to my intentions um, for the month of September is to incorporate a 2-day fast. So starting on Sunday night, I'll be fasting Sunday night until sometime on Tuesday. And let me tell you about my weight loss, y'all. You know, I don't know if you guys know, but I have been like maintaining pretty much around 145 pounds for probably about close to a year. And so like this morning, I was 139 pounds. I think my goal weight is 135. So I'm pretty excited about weight loss. Like, I don't necessarily concern myself with it very much because of the other benefits. The other benefits are so incredible. I mean, from sleep apnea, eczema, IBS. I mean, I was the one who was constipated all the time, so IBS is cleared up, and also, I mean, I have a whole long list of ailments that I had that went away, but anxiety is definitely one that's at the top of the list. I'll tell you guys, the craziest thing about the anxiety was I have what I would call driving anxiety. And the stupidest thing would happen. And that was that I'm driving and it's sunny outside. And so the trees have shadows, right? And I would be freaking out and have to just like go back to my house because the tree shadows would be, going past me. That's so stupid. It was so annoying. So annoying. Hi, Luby. Welcome. So glad you're here. And so, it was just really like annoying. And I worried all the time. I literally worried about everything. I talked about food all the time. I was food obsessed. And my mom and I would talk about food literally 24/7. And so that was not fun. It was not fun to be completely food obsessed and just worried about everything. I would tell my people, don't call me. Do not make my phone ring because I'm going to be scared that something happened. There's been an accident, somebody died, something happened. And so the moment that I was able to send a call to voicemail without answering it, I knew that carnivore was the key. Carnivore was the key. It was the answer for me. So for me, I do believe that I will be a carnivore for the rest of my life because plants really, really are trying to kill me. And they don't work well with my body. Even though the doctors told me it was not food related, all that stuff ended up being food related, and the food was the problem. So, the idea that food is the problem, and some of the things that you're experiencing, such as high blood pressure, completely reversible, type 2 diabetes, completely reversible, a lot of autoimmune conditions, lupus. My friend Denitra, I think somebody just came from her channel watching her. She had lupus and no longer has that as a diagnosis from going on a carnivore way of eating. So the carnivore lifestyle can be absolutely incredible. It can really be a game changer. In fact, it is a game changer. I love it, and I'm going to continue to talk about it and bring it forward as an option for us to utilize if you're on a vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, standard American diet, and you still have ailments, illness, sickness, still have autoimmune disease, you're still overweight, all of those things can be reversed through a proper human diet. And as I said last weekend at the meetup here that we had here in Kalamazoo, the human is the only species that is confused about what to eat. And, wondering, what should we be eating? Humans are the only ones that have that problem. Every animal will eat their proper diet, species specific diet. Um, you don't see cows eating, bacon and eggs. You don't see, what is it, lions eating grass. So they know what they're supposed to eat, what they're designed to eat, and they eat that and they thrive. And that is what I'm looking for us, is for us to be able to thrive on a diet that is species appropriate. And so it may or may not include any plants at all. Because you could be having some reactions to plants that you're just not attributing to the plant. And so that's what happened to me with that lettuce. Like, I ate the lettuce, my hands blistered. I didn't even eat the lettuce. I ate the meat off the top of the lettuce and my hands blistered up. Another thing that I will mention before I let you guys go is that I really cannot have dairy very much. So I can have butter, and I can have brown butter and ghee. I can do a little bit of sour cream, but like heavy cream, I cannot have it at all. Cheese, I cannot have it at all. And I've tried like goat cheese, lamb cheese. I can't have it. It makes my hands blister up. And so, there's stuff that's going on inside of your body that is not being attributed to the proper factors. And we're using medications, creams, ointments, shots, potions to try to deal with all of this health issues that we're having, when it's the foods that we're eating, or the food products that we are eating that is the problem. So, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about tonight. I wanted to tell you guys about my new coaching practice. I will be doing a commercial and putting that out on my channel and also on my TikTok. You guys will get a chance to see that. And then let me know if you're interested in coming in and being part of my community, working with me as a coach. I'm definitely here to support. Like I said, I've been coaching people for the last little bit over 6 months, and my family and, my friends, close friends, people from church, those kinds of things, to try to help them maneuver through this process, because it can be challenging. All right, you guys. So next weekend, I will be back with a guest. Her name is Alia the Carnivore, and she is a 16-year-old carnivore. She's an advocate. Man, I'll tell you, check her out on Instagram. Her name is Alia with an H, the Carnivore, and she wrote a book. She wrote a book about carnivore for teens. So we're going to talk about, carnivore safety and, what is it like to be a carnivore teen. Hey, Denitra, so glad that you're here. Thank you for popping in. I just came from your show and started my show. So welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here. Yeah, so I'll be here with her next weekend. Again, I made the announcement. Impact 2026 is coming. You guys do not want to miss it. It's in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The date is August 29th, 2026. And I hope to see you there. It was absolutely incredible. All right, you guys. I will see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.